We're hanging out with a field hockey phenom today. It's showtime!
When you watch 18-year-old Emma Ruley in action, she looks like your above average athlete from high school. Talented, tough, tenacious. But here's what you don't know. Just this past January, Emma had a stroke.
17 years old. Unimaginable for a teenager, right? It's practically unheard of. But it happened. The road to recovery for this fierce fighter wasn't easy, but she rose to the challenge, and now she's starting her freshman year of college, and she's pumped to play. Here's Del Mar Life's Katie Zerilli.
When Emma Ruley of Fenwick Island takes the field, she's fierce, fast, and fearless.
She's a force. I've always used that term.
I was an offender. I love scoring goals.
Emma started playing field hockey upon entering middle school. Something about using speed with stick skills, the sport suited her.
Her intensity level, she can just explode. That's kind of one thing that the coaches appreciate with Emma. She has that speed, and you know, you need that to get all the way down the field. But no, it just seemed like she just took to it really well, and I didn't care what she did, as long as she enjoyed it.
That she did, all through her senior year of high school. A game at the end of her sophomore year stands out as her favorite.
Probably the state championship against Del Mar. I scored the third goal in that game, and it was just like a feeling like no other. The stands were packed. It was just crazy. Like, I'll never forget that moment.
This passionate player committed to play in college at Millersville University at the end of last year. But when January came, an opponent greater than any she'd ever faced threatened to put her plans on pause. At 17 years old, Emma suffered a stroke. Her symptoms started one evening when she was helping out with Unified Basketball.
During my practice, I felt in my left leg, below my knee, it was like kind of getting sleepy, like it fell asleep. It went away throughout the practice, and then I started to get a really bad headache, and on my way home, I was like, I don't know what to do.
Even after getting home, taking pain medication, having a quick nap, and eating dinner, her concerns continued. She remembers not being able to feel her stomach, but chalked it up to being dehydrated.
So I go to sleep, and I probably wake up around 11 or 12-ish, and it felt like I fell asleep on my right side. So I basically just laid there and was like, oh, maybe it'll go away in a few minutes, like it's no big deal. It ended up not going away, so at that point I try and get up, and so I sit up in my bed and I go and take a step, and then I just fall because I couldn't stand up on my right leg. And so at that point I'm like in tears. I was like crawling to the stairs, down the stairs, and I was like crying to my mom, like, Mom, I can't feel.
There's certain things you can't unsee from our whole experience, and that's kind of what the hardest thing for me has been, going back to it. But no, that night of January 6th, she came down, sort of fell a little bit down the steps, and kind of made me, you know, like, what's going on? And was dropping her phone and things that just weren't normal.
And it just kind of rolled off my fingertips, and it was like the craziest thing ever. And so then finally we showed my dad, and he was like, okay, I think we need to go to the hospital. I like took my finger and brushed it across my forehead, and there was like a straight line of where I couldn't feel. It was crazy.
At the hospital, she underwent tests. The results? Unimaginable.
She has shocked the entire hospital. Your child had a stroke. And that's when I had to sit down and catch my breath. And before I knew it, the helicopter was there.
Lisa Ruley calls the helicopter ride the longest 45 minutes of her life. Upon arrival in Christiana, fast-paced action.
And they ran her down that hallway, and that's one thing I will never get out of my head. There was a group of them, I'm not really sure how many, 5 or 6 surgeons on hand. They looked at her tests, and the first question they asked is, if this was your kid, and they unanimously said, we gotta go. Because it was going down the vision part of her brain, and they didn't want to mess with that. So off they went, flying. It's like a movie. You know, they say your life kind of flashes through you when you're past, and you know, you think of her as your little girl still. So it was, kids don't have strokes. So I just immediately was like, you know, why? Like, why?
Unfortunately, they'll probably never know why. But Emma got the treatment she needed, and through this process, doctors discovered she had a hole in her heart, for which she had surgery 2 months later.
It was really scary. I didn't really know what to expect. They put 2 catheters up my groin here, one as a camera, one as the little device going up, and I was awake for a part of it. It was a weird feeling. It didn't hurt, but it was kind of took my breath away a little bit. But yeah, I'm really glad I got it done, just to make sure that will never happen again.
Emma's road to recovery involved intense physical therapy, which was a different type of difficult.
I wasn't even in, I wouldn't say pain. I literally I couldn't really feel it. So it was just really hard, especially they would give me small weights, and it was just really challenging. And for the people around you working, they're probably like, oh, what is this? The girl looks so young. Why is she holding a 2-pound weight in her arm? Just stuff like that is kind of discouraging at the time.
Her mother says through the process, patience was paramount.
I was concerned about everything. She couldn't write. I didn't think she'd finish her senior year. I mean, she didn't either. So yeah, it was literally you know, you hear it a lot and maybe say it, but it truly was one day at a time.
Day by day, week by week, Emma regained her strength. She returned to the field, playing her other sport, lacrosse, in April.
That first game, I had so much adrenaline. It felt like I never left the field, basically.
I was probably crying, happy tears, nervous as can be.
As you might imagine, Lisa's still nervous. As a mom, she'll probably always be in some way.
I need to process, so I've had to process things really quickly. I'm a processor and a thinker. I overthink everything, but she's helped. She's the strong one, so she's actually helped me more than the other way around. She's Miss Independent. She always has been. So I think she'll do just fine in life.
Emma left for school just days ago and wants to make an immediate impact on her field hockey team. She's certainly left an impact here, though, with a story we can all learn from.
I'd say if you can't feel anything, definitely go to the hospital. Do not wait another second. Just educate all your family members on strokes. It could happen to anybody at any time. And I know physical therapy might sound like a burden at first and it might suck, but if you go to it, it will pay off.
A fighter on the field and a leader in life.
Emma is especially thankful for the ways her parents supported her through this journey. And that support, of course, doesn't stop. Lisa says she's planning to travel to Pennsylvania to see as many of Emma's games as she can this fall. And we are not done with Emma just yet.
We are not done with Emma yet. After the break, she becomes Katie's coach. Katie's gonna pick up a stick and learn a skill or two. We'll be right back. So before the break, we introduced you to Emma Ruley of Fenwick Island. Just a reminder, Emma suffered a stroke at the age of 17 years old, but it didn't stop her from going after her athletic goals. Emma is now at Millersville University in Pennsylvania, working to make an impact on the field hockey team as a freshman.
Oh, that's wonderful. And in addition to sharing her story, Katie also asked Emma to teach her a thing or two about shooting and scoring. Let's take a look.
All right, I can honestly say I was never a field hockey player, always more of a soccer girl, but Emma hates it. She's upset. But Emma is going to teach me to shoot like her. So what's the strategy here, Em?
All right, so first you got
I gotta do that little cool thing.
You gotta have the ball way in front of your feet because it's not gonna work if you're up here.
No. Okay.
So yeah, you got it pretty down.
Okay. All right.
So now you want to put both your hands at the top of the stick.
Yep.
That stick, I don't know how big that is, but I like to choke up a little because it makes it easier.
Okay.
And then you kind of want to stand. The ball wants to kind of be off your left foot. so that when you take a step,
So I want to be like this, back here a little
yeah,
bit, maybe?
so that when you take a step, your foot should aim towards the goal, and that's basically where your shot's gonna go.
Oh, okay.
And then you want to just bend your knees into it and turn your back foot like this and follow through. Don't follow through up here because it's dangerous.
Okay, yeah, good
But
call.
yeah, just follow like here and straighten your stick out at the end.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Probably have massive success here. That was a fake. Fake to everybody else. Okay. I think my choking up was a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're fine if
Okay.
you just.
Okay. All right. There we go.
You can move up a little bit, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Emma.
You just gotta keep your eye on the ball. And you should
Yeah,
get it.
classic.
There you go.
Hey, got one.
Perfect.
All right, let's try again. All right, now you take a shot so we can see
All right.
what I'm aiming for here.
Here's my stick. All right, well, let's do that again.
Okay. Whoa! Well, that's something. All right, here we go. Do your cool little tricks.
Oh yeah, a little
Yeah.
dodge.
Do you dig up a lot of dirt? Emma?
You know, every once in a while.
Yeah, that
But
happens.
it's normal.
Okay. All right. Give me one more shot here. I'm getting a little closer to the goal.
No, it's perfect. You're fine.
That way I have a more.
There you go. Look at that. Right in
Hey!
the corner too.
Katie learned after this lesson that she should definitely stick to soccer.
Let it go. Let's
Let it
have the
go.
ball. There you go.